From that, all he had to do was to watch the ball rise at the right time and get a proper connection to it. But it's a very, very good header because he actually picks a spot, if you like, plants the header into the back of the net. Goalkeeper, right there, there's a man on the post. Benjamin Afutu climbs and picks that post. At the time the header is coming in, he's nowhere near it, and that is where the question marks are. But Hearts of Oak wouldn't care. This man is delighted.
Samuel Buedu.
All right, so the match of the week highlights there coming from the Accra Sports Stadium and the countdown to the big one. 6 days to go against Accra Great Olympics. Olympics will be the host, obviously, in that game. It's a big game, and no doubt about it, the Hearts of Oak in good mood. We were at the camp of Accra Great Olympics as well to get a feel of how they're preparing. Remember, a match of FA Cup responsibilities first for them today, and then followed by Hearts of Oak and the Olympics, I can say, thankfully, by my co-presenter and friend here, Jude Acheampong. Welcome back from your sojourn.
Yeah, thanks to be here. It's always great to be here.
Yeah, Olympics in camp yesterday were full of smiles, very relaxed, just like the previous time, you know, before they played Hearts of Oak. But they've got the FA Cup ahead, and then after that, they'll deal with Accra Hearts of Oak. In their own words, can they deal with the Hearts of Oak?
Well, of course they can, because they dealt with them in the first round.
They
by
dealt
whipping
with
them by
them.
2 goals to 0. So obviously they can. But the point is, can they do the double? I mean, House of Folk have looked very, very impressive. I mean, in the last 7 matches they've played at Accra Sports Stadium, they've managed to win all, not even draw one. Since they drew against Legon Cities at the Accra Sports Stadium, they've managed to win all their matches at that same venue.
So the home venue is helping the Phobians.
Exactly. And they are having, you know, that brilliant form where the confidence is so high that whenever they play, even away from the Accra Sports Stadium, they also start winning. And they've won 2 matches in a row. That makes House of Folk the favorite going into that tie.
Very interesting indeed. We'll look at the weekend's games. There were some very strange results, especially the Midiama scoreline against Inter-Allies. I hear there are problems in the camp of Midiama. You can bring us up to date on that one. And then the coaches as well, who perhaps could be moving. But with 7 matches to go, why would you want to change any coach or tell a coach, you know, your time is up? Don't you wait to the end of the league, the season?
It's simple, yeah. You know, there are different dynamics regarding, you know, other teams. But for Midiama, it's simple. They brought Yaw Ampofo and Yaw Acheampong in to win the league. And if you have given such a huge task, you need to go there and prove a point. I mean, Yaw Ampofo have been with Inter-Allies, been with Olympics, been with House of Folk. So in terms of the local terrain, he knows what it is about. For Yaw Acheampong, he's done the same thing. And Yaw, together with Yaw Ampofo, they should form a formidable team and make sure Midiama are at the top. And that is why, you know, the bankroller paid huge sums of money to bring those 2. Now, Yaw, let me tell you, it's simple. They started very well, winning matches upon matches. And I told you, for you to sit at the summit of the Ghana Premier League, you need consistency. It will favor you if you want to win the league. It will make sure your job is at where it is. But unfortunately for Yaw Ampofo, he's been losing matches now. He's been dropping points. Even at home, he struggles to win.
Is it because of the back-to-back and against, with all due respect, Wafa is a game they were expected to win. Inter-Allies were a game they were expected to win, and now his record is quite, it's not looking as sweet as it did. He started well, though, mind you.
Like I told you, yes, he did. And he should have, you know, maintained the momentum, the consistency. Now, he's nowhere to be found in terms of who should win the league, in terms of teams that are gunning for the league trophy. I don't think Midiama are now part of it.
Mathematically,
they are in.
Managed to put in a run.
Exactly.
And Hearts, Kotoko, Olympics, perhaps Cabrera slip up. It's about winning 2 matches and your opponents above you slipping up 2 matches.
The question is, can they be that consistent? They cannot. They can't start. I mean, playing against Inter-Allies, I spoke to the president, the bankroller, before the game, and he said,
Parker?
yeah, and he said, look, we are going in for the kill. We are going to win all 3 points.
Wow.
And you see, he is that person who stays at the training grounds. He motivates the boys. He's always there in the camp, you know, in the dressing room. He wants everything, you know, at its apex. But, hey, they go into that game with all their arsenals intact.
And motivation.
All their players in that game.
And how did they lose?
And they lose woefully by 3 goals to 0. It's unacceptable. And, hey, the supporters themselves are putting in more pressure. And they are saying, look, we have 3 more games. And that 3 more games that we're going to play immediately, either you win all 3 matches or you leave your job.
But Jude, are we being fair to Inter-Allies as well? They played well. They're threatened with relegation. They want to get out of relegation. Now, any team they face is a cup final. Maybe we should give Inter-Allies some credit.
Of course, we'll talk about Inter-Allies and their resurgence and their form. But for a top-class team like Midiama, it's unacceptable losing to the bottom club on the league log. Yeah, look, with all due respect, Inter-Allies are doing well. They really want to survive. They are bringing the magical moment, and I love it because mathematically they can survive now. But for Midiama, they want to, win the league. And you can't win the league with such a porous form. For me, Yaw Ampofo together with Yaw Acheampong must make sure they have a firm grip of what is happening. Other than that, they are playing against Karela. In their next game, they will play against House of Folk and then play against King Faisal. These 3 matches, they must win all 3. Other than that, I'm not sure they will keep their job.
So Midiama, if you look at them in the 5th position, again, it's all about ifs and maybes and relying on your opponent's results, which is not the case for one club. Accra are the only club that have their, what's the word to use, their destiny in their own hands, because at this stage, all they need to do is to win all their matches. But they still have to play Kotoko, they still have to play Olympics, and they have to play Midiama. So those dynamics gives you a sense that yes, they're top, yes, they're looking good, yes, they're confident, but how are these sides, Midiama, Olympics, and Kotoko, going to respond when they meet Hearts?
Again, let me tell you why House of Folk looks the favorite. Yeah. Apart from they winning their last 7 home matches, they have the number of players, outfield players, that have scored the most number of goals in the Ghana Premier League. I mean, Victor Edu have stopped scoring. And you see Kojo Abi Jr. carrying on the mantle. So Edu has 7 goals, Kojo Abi Jr. has 8 goals. But you go to Isaac Mensah, he's scored 4. You go to Michel Sapon, 3. Barnier is scoring. So they have pockets of strikers. Any day one could score. And that is, helping them. Again, they are having players from midfield that are also busting the midfield and scoring as well. A Futu will just, bump up and score. There's Salifu, who genuinely reads up the game very well, can provide assist and can also score. He scored, that goal he scored at Bechim. That is Salifu. Futu has been banging in the goals. So they are having players, the outfield players are banging in the goals, and they have done it than any other team in the Ghana Premier League. That is why they look superior. Again, I don't see Midiama go to the Accra Sports Stadium and beat House of Folk, even though it could happen because Midiama had beaten Kotoko before.
And this is the GPL.
Of course, surprises galore. But in the form House of Folk are in now. Now, you talk about their goalkeeper and their defense. House of Folk are not conceding goals here. In the last 9 matches, House of Folk are not conceding goals. Their goalkeeper is keeping clean sheet. He kept one yesterday. He's keeping clean sheet after clean sheet, and it looks scary when you are playing against them. For House of Folk, all that they need to do is maintain their composure, consistency, and grind results. And for me, this man has been fantastic. I mean, he was lambasted in the first round when he was being scored some long-range goals. Now, he went back.
Repackaged himself.
And he's back to his form.
Psychologically, and that shows the strength of character for him to come back after all those criticisms. He's done very well. The question is, can he maintain or keep that momentum? Because Hearts of Oak did make a few changes as far as the goalkeeping department was concerned. Injuries and, as you said, form. He's back now, and he'll be looking to keep a good run until the end of the season. And there's another story which is, gaining momentum. Yesterday at the Olympics training ground, of course, we were told that Accra Great Olympics will be, what's the word used by the coach? We will do our duty and release our players if they are called. And we didn't see the young man, Samuel Ashi, in training. And we asked, and we were told he's been called to camp and he's traveling. That's a huge blow for a team chasing the title. Why would you let arguably your most informed player at the moment, probably the most dynamic player they have, a crowd puller now, Why would you let him go before a defining match against your bitterest city rivals who are also in contention? It beats the imagination.
Well, yeah, it does. But you see, Olympics will be missing 2 key players in the round of 28. Gladson Awako will be with the Black Stars. Samuel Ashi will also be with the National Under 23. So ask yourself, do they have the men to fill in those gaps? I think yes, they have. Samuel Ashi has scored 4 goals with Gladson Awako on 6 goals. So they are key to the success of Olympics. And they were ever present when Olympics beat House of Folk by 2-0 in the first round. But the coach is not disturbed. Anyhow, for me, it is not only Olympics that are going to suffer. I think the team that will suffer in terms of players leaving is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You know why?
We'll come to that.
But for Olympics, yes, the 2 players are key. But I feel they have good replacement for them.
But arguably, Awako cannot be replaced in this Olympic setup. There's no player like him. And with this young chap, there is no player like him. Similar, yes, but like him, no. You look at the statistics, you look at his inputs, you look at his conversions, the role he plays, the different areas of the pitch that even the coach has said this guy can be deployed in several positions for him when he chooses. It gives Olympics an advantage on a match day situation to change the strategy, to change tactics. You're missing not just one. You're missing 2 game changers, Awako and this young chap. You can't tell me that if, you're missing these 2 big players, others would just roll in like that.
So, yeah, the question is, what if they were injured?
They cannot be replaced immediately. Players would come in, but they cannot play the roles they're playing.
You see, we had the coach of the National Under 23 team, Parkwesi Fabian, releasing the call-ups about a fortnight ago. And so you must be planning towards that. That we are going to have the league progress on, and these players will definitely leave your team to join the National Under 23 team and the Black Stars. So then immediately, as a good coach, you start making inroads, players who can probably fit in and make sure you get the same result if they are playing.
Awesome.
So for me, it is not sure. They also had another option to tell the national team, no, we have a crucial game coming up.
Thank you.
We are not going to release them.
And at the same training venue, that's what we heard. Obviously, we need to hear officially from Accra Hearts of Oak, but the position we're being told is that Hearts of Oak are not going to release their players. Is this true or it's just a fantasy?
Yeah, it is true, yeah. They have 3 players with the National Under 23 team. They had the goalkeeper, Richmond Ayi, who is not a regular. Then they had Daniel Barnier, the National Under 20 captain. And then they had another player, Salifu, in there. But if you look at House of Folk now, the main kingpin in the middle who conjures the magic alongside the foot is Salifu. So if you're going to miss him, and don't forget, House of Folk will play 2 great games without this player.
So let me ask you this. Salifu on one side, Awako on the other side.
It's like for like.
But he's not going.
Well, House of Folk had the other option to say we are not going to release him. And
have they released him?
No. The boy is back to House of Folk because they feel he's key if they want to win the league.
So this is a player where a lot of fans were crying for his inclusion. He's now been included. Now Hearts of Oak are shifting the goalpost by saying that we need him. But you wanted this guy in the national team.
Yes, you are right. Yeah,
after a lot of media uproar.
Yes, of course. It's good he'll be there. It's good he has been there. But the league, I mean, compare the nature of the league. And
what I'm saying is that let's call a spade a spade.
Yes.
Hearts of Oak are in the wrong, in my opinion. Yes or no? Because it's a bad precedent for other clubs to say next time I'm playing against I don't want to release my players.
I agree.
No, I want to hear it from you.
I agree with you, and I agree with House of Folk. Okay. For me, I think House of Folk have done what they need to do.
Right.
One.
Why didn't Olympics do the same?
That's where I'm coming. Olympics had the luxury to say we are losing Awako. We can't give you Ashi. Okay? It is just a friendly game. Now let me tell you what. Karela, who are not even in the first 4, told the National Under 23 team and the GFA that our man who has been banging in the goals is Diawusie Taylor. And we need Taylor back in our squad because, look,
wow,
it's just a friendly game. Karela had 2 players. The goalkeeper, I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name. They are back with Karela.
Interesting.
Now, Kotoko.
So it's all these clubs.
Yes, Kotoko had 2 players.
Right.
Ganiu and Abalora. But they are playing with the Black Stars. And so Kotoko can't afford to say, no, we need our players back, because it is key for the success of those players to play with the Black Stars. And don't forget, Kotoko are Kotoko because, one, their top scorer since Kwame Opoku left has been Ganiu, the defender. And he is key to the back line. He's been ever present. And that he is one of the reasons why Kotoko are not conceding. Again, Razak Kabalora, he's the best goalkeeper in the local scene. If I tell you about the clean sheets that he's been, putting up, the performance, the saves.
And for him, Kotoko may have lost their last game where he stood out, right?
Exactly. So even for Kotoko, they are 2 best players at the back. And the reason why Kotoko are not conceding have left, Kotoko to join the Black Stars. So all these teams have the luxury to say, look, it's just a friendly game.
So we can decide, all right.
Exactly.
So Olympics have decided that we can play Hearts without Awako, we can play Hearts without Ashi. So whatever happens, they shouldn't complain.
No, you can't complain.
But what about the fans? What do you think? Don't you feel sorry for the fans that the first leg ended 2-0? It's going to be revenge or repeat. And 2 characters, 2 orchestrators who were suppliers, or should I say assist makers, and the goal scorer with that beautiful free kick will not be there. The fans are going to miss out on these players.
I mean, without a doubt, Gladson Awako and Ashikwe, Samuel Ashikwe, I mean, they are the 2 most influential players in the Olympic setup. And they are going to be missed by the fans, by the teammate, by the coach. Whatever you say about that game, those 2 players are very important for the success of Olympics. But for a supporter, I mean, going to the stadium, you want to see the silky nature of that chap in there, Awako. I mean, so brilliant on the ball, confident, and that header. Look at him. Samuel Ashikwe. I mean, you will miss those skills. But if you are an Olympics fan, that is where you keep saying, we are the Wonder Boys. We can beat Hearts of Oak even when they are their best.
So this is a dare by Olympics to say that without our key players, we're still going to beat you. I mean, it's a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Anon Walker spoke yesterday and he said, without my 2 key players, I'm going to beat Hearts of Oak.
It's a gamble.
That's the spirit. It is a gamble, yeah, but that's the spirit. Make sure some other players will also carry on the mantle and show class on that day. Look, if Olympics are really the Wonder Boys, they must show us some wonders come Sunday against Hearts of Oak.
Let's quickly, before we move on, talk about Anon Walker. Certainly, he's turned the team around. Certainly, he's built a new vibe around Great Olympics. What has been the pillars of it, the foundation for him to do that? They've not won the league yet. We've had matches to play, but so far, I think he's done a yeoman's job.
We least expected Olympics to be where they are now in the Ghana Premier League. But look, Yao, that man, Anon Walker, I mean, very experienced. He's been with Brecum Chelsea before. He's been with Gold Stars and all. I mean, he's been everywhere. But for such an experienced coach, taking over Olympics with all the pressure, and you see, one thing that amazes me is that apart from Gladson Awako, at that time, who probably had a name around himself, there was no clear-cut Olympics player. You say, this is a star player, or player probably a star in our team. So he has done well to mold the team to play as a unit. He has done well to make us feel, the kind of game plan, the kind of style that Olympics are made of. And for me, he's gunning for the coach of the season if he continues this way.
Coach of the season?
Yeah.
In traditional settings, normally the coach who wins the league, but in some cases it hasn't happened where the coach who's won the league is given. It's given to another coach. For example, newly promoted, you end up in the top 4, you win, So you think it could happen here in Ghana?
Yeah, it could. It could, because the transformation from that man, Anon Walker, has been superb. I mean, the belief and the confidence that he has probably, put into those boys. I mean, these are young players. Look, Mudasiri, we didn't know this is his first season. We had Gladson Awako. We thought he was finished.
Some clubs rejected him, apparently, I'm being told.
Exactly. And so he's bringing in such young players, and they are playing so well to that level that probably we never knew they could. And look at him, and look at the stats that he's bringing on board.
The elder statesman of the GPL, certainly showing his worth and his value. So it is the countdown. Don't worry, we'll be talking more about it, and we'll be hearing from you as well when the time comes. It is the big game, the Ga-Manche Derby at the Accra Sports Stadium. That's not the only game, mind you. We have other games coming up this weekend. In Obuasi, Kotoko have to take care of Ashgold. It's another Ashanti Derby. Then we have the Western region. Midiama, can they bounce back against Karela?
They need to, Yaw. They need to, because it's getting worse. And for Yaw Preko and Yaw Acheampong, they can't do anything. All that they can do on that day is play a sumptuous football, beat Karela hands down, and don't forget, it's a revenge time. They need to win against Karela because they were whipped 2-0 when they went to Enyinase. They must reverse that scoreline, and then they must come back to life and try to probably get to the first 3 or first 2, so that then they will be comfortable as coaches. We
even have the New Boys Derby, which is something of a novelty. That is Inter Allies versus Legon Cities. They're not Inter Allies is not new, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a cracker. Yeah.
It could have been the relegation derby, but Legon Cities are out of that.
Yeah, the form of Legon Cities now have probably
changed.
made them the favourites in that derby. But yeah.
But Inter just beat Midiama.
Come again?
They just beat Midiama.
They did. But Inter Allies themselves are playing so well. Look, I don't know whether it's because they went to the Theatre of Dreams, but they are showing character that if magic still does exist, they have one in their boots, and they are steadily in that battle because they know they can make it.
All right, they know they can make it. Well, don't go too far. We're going for a quick break. When we return, we continue with our countdown as well as all the news that's happening from the centres of the Ghana Premier League.
Max TV, sports, entertainment, and more.
Do you want to become a boss without any stress? Now the wait is over. Max Buy Ghana Limited is here to make you a boss. Yes, join the Max Buy franchise now to create wealth, no money, no hassle, no stress, but you become a boss. Contact Max Buy now on 055-732-8352 for more details. Max Buy franchise, with no money, you become a boss.
Sports Drive on Max 89.7 FM, your ultimate late afternoon show packaged with music. Trivia, star guests, giveaways, and health updates, plus your views on anything that matters to you. Sports Drive with me, Yaw Ampofo-Ankrah, and your number one DJ La Posta every Wednesday at 3 p.m.
My friends wonder why I love buying TCL air conditioners. 1. Energy efficiency.
TCL air conditioners use less power to operate, so every year, no electricity bills new from.
Enunti, it helps me save some money. 2. The cooling ability.
What an inframa. So clean and hygienic.
It will live very quick at any selected temperature.
Noise level no so dafem.
Wow. I could even hear the sound of the pin dropping.
Now, because noise level no work from Tino, one always enjoys a good sleep.
Above all, TCL air conditioners are of the best quality, dependable and durable. And you also call Jiwo.
TCL air conditioners are 3-star rated with 3 years warranty. TCL, the creative life.
Hello Ghana! Introducing Lucky Mall Ghana. Lucky Mall Ghana gives you the chance to become a millionaire with just a click. Lucky More Ghana is a new mobile lottery platform where you can win big. You can win a cash prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis, brand new car, ShopRite vouchers, telco airtime, smartphones, curved TVs, MacBooks, laptops, and many other dream items. First, you need to visit www.luckymall.com.gh or download the Lucky Mall app from your Google Play Store.
I go win, you go win, you go win, I go win. Lucky Mall.
Okay, welcome back. The official center for the Ghana Premier League. And at the break, Jude and I are having a little giggle about what happened in Doma, Ahingro. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, but it's something that has been happening. And Jude was there, eyewitness account, no doubt about that. We'll see the visuals in a second. But the build-up to that game was quite tense, which is normal. It's a big game between two rivals that the rivalry has grown over the years. What was interesting was that before kickoff, news spread that there were some strange things happening there, and our cameras were able to capture a few of them. Yeah. What else didn't we see behind the scenes?
Yeah, before I answer that question, it is key what I'm going to say now. The Ghana Football Association better pay good attention to it, yeah.
GFA are listening, they're watching.
Look, we go through a whole lot as commentators, as Star Times. But yeah, it is getting increasingly worried. Now, we've been to venues where policemen are even begging supporters. And the supporters themselves seems like they are in control of the game, not the policemen. Look, if we are going into the crunchy time and we are going to venues where there will not be military men, one day something drastic will happen. I'm being honest here. In that game again, Kotoko played against the Diana Stars at Doma.
Right.
We got there, and the first thing I asked my co-commentator, Prince, was, where are the military men?
Security.
Because I felt the police who were there were not up to the number that probably should have been there. There were only few policemen.
So Kotoko Aduana is categorized as a grade A in terms of the security threat potentially.
Exactly. Ediana, former league champion, they are the defending champions.
Right.
And Kumasi Santi Koroko overwhelmingly are, they've won most Ghana Premier League.
Chasing for title.
So it is a big game. And Kotoko themselves have not won at that venue in so many times. So the tension before the game was huge.
Yeah. This is the game itself, but I'm sure we'll go back and talk about, when the bus was arriving, and because some people still doubt that such an incident did transpire. Hopefully after this, we'll go back and look at that incident. Just to clarify, to put in there, there's a lot of questions and doubts as to whether or not indeed it happened. So we owe it. Before
kickoff, the normal pre-match, went on, and then we had our man on the grounds who probably would check the hanging of the jerseys, the dressing rooms are looking good. We'll go through the COVID protocols, and our cameramen will probably take all the shots and all that.
Let me just remind viewers that we'll show you those clips, especially when the bus was arriving, because this is a question that social media, there's a battle out there. So when we take a look at that, it would clarify those doubts in a second.
We'll get there in a minute. But it started like this. And when it was time for us to take, those shots in the dressing room, Kotoko, the officials, the players said they are not going in there because one, they
so these shots were taken afterwards. This was after the issue had happened.
Exactly. This was the Diana dressing room. It looks good. Nothing happened there, but there was no way we could take the Kotoko's, dressing room, because first of all, the Kotoko officials were saying there were sprinkles of blood and other stuff in their dressing room, and they were not going to enter. Again, apart from that, there was this man, holding the bodia. And I don't know if it's a Juju man or what.
Yeah, we're going to see that in a second.
Yes, that's the man. And he was all over.
So this is what social media is saying, that he's a Kotoko person. Others are saying he's Adriana.
No, he is not a Kotoko person.
Thank you for that. So
He
it's
is
people
not-
playing mischief.
No, he's not a Kotoko person. This man was there before even Kotoko came, and he was around the Adriana.
So who is he? What was he doing?
I mean, Juju, obviously, and he was doing that Juju on behalf of Adriana because Kotoko and the officials got there. They didn't bring any Juju man, so he was there virtually chanting for Adriana Stars.
Is this permitted in our game?
Well, I don't know, but yeah, see, another thing that is also taking over the Ghana Premier League is Juju. Look, we go to venues and you see even players. This match before kickoff, Kotoko and the Ghana players had a bust up because one want to get the center and put Juju there or pray or whatever it is.
But again, not to cut you, Adriana player goes into the Kotoko half to do whatever it is before kickoff. Can he not be punished for that by the referee?
That's what I'm saying. The GFA must be up and doing in terms of Juju, in terms of military men. Everything must be in place. We are getting to the most important moment of the Ghana Premier League. And I wouldn't want a game to be stopped because there were no military man or the Juju was too much. Now, the Juju is becoming so much that the belief in Juju is too much in the Ghana Premier League.
Why?
No, I'm not saying people should not do it. But it's now happening in a way that
Openly.
it is so clear. I mean, people who go and sprinkle certain things on the field. People who put certain things in the goalpost. I mean, red-handed.
And nobody does anything.
No, you can't. You can't do anything about it. Me, as a commentator and as a sports analyst,
It's your job to let us know.
the FA must crack the whip on all those things.
And let me ask you, how do you feel safe? I hear you've been threatened on a couple of occasions.
I mean, sometimes you get to the venue and you're like, most of the times for, and you are being threatened. Look, last Sunday, when we were seated with the commentary out, the fight broke up and the Kotoko officials were told to leave the stadium because if they watch the game, their life is not safe. They are not guaranteed,
They were warned.
a smooth. They were told to get out from the VIP and leave the stadium by the supporters.
Wow. So no protection for the Kotoko officials?
No, the police dare say a word. And it's not Doma alone. It is not Doma alone. Other venues have the same attitude. And for me, that is why the FA must be concerned about those happenings.
Yeah, we're getting to the apex, the critical stage of the GPL. And surely, Jude Acheampong, having been to every single venue that is telecast live, I think the FA are listening, they're watching, and they'll put in measures to ensure not just the safety of officials and players, but indeed fans as well. We don't want a situation where fans will start taking things into their own hands because security, assigned to do that, failed to do so. And it's our job to put it as it is.
Let me tell you one thing quickly, Yaw. You remember when House of Folk played against 11 Wonders at the Ohinamea Park? We had military men coming in, Yaw. And I remember the supporters were all around where we're doing the commentary. And one military man came close and said, everybody should get away. By the time he finished making the sentence, everybody had left. One military man.
So our game has to get used to that.
Exactly, yeah.
But I thought we're moving away from that and getting closer to how football should be. Family, leisure, entertainment, branding, exquisite, professionals, not just the players, but the architects who make sure it happens.
But, yeah, look, I'm not saying the fans love the game. Yeah.
Barreto.
The love is back, yeah. People are now, ready to go to the stadium and support their team and cheer them up. And that's good for Ghana football. The love is back.
Yep.
But the passion is getting too much that people are not ready to accept loose.
Because we've not had it for so long. I think people are hungry. But in their hunger, it should be directed, the passion should be directed at supporting their team. So overwhelmingly, what was the word to you? The polls, indications, the predictions, the analysts, the pundits are saying that Hearts of Oak have the advantage.
Exactly.
And if you look at this for Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, these are their next 5 fixtures. It should or it will define their season. And they're by no means easy games at all.
Now, yeah, the problem with Kotoko is that if you really want to win the Ghana Premier League, you stop playing draws and you must be consistent. Now, yeah, in the last 6 matches Kumasi Asante Kotoko have played, they've won 3 and drawn 3. Now, look at this. In the last 3 matches Kotoko have played, they've drawn all. And for me, it's not good enough.
For title chasing.
The supporters of Kumasi Asante Kotoko must know that they are shooting themselves in the foot because they have been consistent with draws. This is the first time Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the Ghana Premier League this season have drawn 3 matches in a row. It's not good enough. And if you look at the Kotoko setup, I told you, since Kwame Opoku left, the top scorer has been Ganiu, a defender. It's still not good enough. And if Kotoko really want to win the league, they must stop drawing and start winning. And you look at the 5 matches that they are playing. I mean, on the screen, we'll see that. They are playing Ashanti Gold. It's a big game because Ashanti Gold themselves can't afford to lose back to back to back.
The 6 points that Kotoko have dropped in those 3 consecutive draws, had they won those games, they would be leading Hearts of Oak by 3 points.
Exactly. They drew against Liberty. They drew against, of course, that's what you see.
Wafa.
They drew against Wafa and drew against Aduana Stars. You can't win league or a league trophy when it gets to this crunchy moment and you are drawing. It's not possible, yeah. So if you really want to make the statement, come back, beat Ashanti Gold on Sunday, beat Entire Lies at the dreaded Dewu because Kotoko, beating Dreams FC even there before. Yeah. Go back, play Karela, beat them at the Boise Stadium. Then 3 wins consecutively in a row that will make you back, for the league, back in contention for the league. But for the draws, yeah, I think Kotoko are shooting themselves in the foot.
Interesting. Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Never say die is a crowd's vogue, or never say die until the bones are rotten. And of course, the fabulous boys will tell you Ukuma Pema Pembe. But can they do it? Can they catch up with Hearts and overhaul them? Let's go for another break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines. We'll activate the phone lines, and you can join us with your views and thoughts. We'll be right back.
Max TV, sports, entertainment, and more.
Break it down to the beat. 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 Break it down to the
My friends wonder why I love buying TCL air conditioners. 1. Energy efficiency.
TCL air conditioners use less power to operate, so every year, na electricity bills new from.
Enunti, it helps me save some money. 2. The cooling ability.
What an inframa. So clean and hygienic.
It will live very quick at any selected temperature.
Noise level no so dafem.
Wow. I could even hear the sound of the pin dropping.
Now, because noise level no work from it, one always enjoys a good sleep.
Above all, TCL air conditioners are of the best quality, dependable and durable. And you also call Jiwo.
TCL air conditioners are 3-star rated with 3 years warranty. TCL, the creative life.
Hello, Ghana! Introducing Lucky Mall Ghana. Lucky Mall Ghana gives you the chance to become a millionaire with just a click. Lucky Mall Ghana is a new mobile lottery platform where you can win big. You can win a cash prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis, brand new car, ShopRite vouchers, telco airtime, smartphones, curved TVs, MacBooks, laptops, and many other dream items. First, you need to visit www.luckymall.com.gh or download the Lucky Mall app from your Google Play Store.
I go win, you go win, you go win, I go win. Lucky Mall.
Welcome back. It's your official centre for the Ghana Premier League, and there's a lot to talk about. We've been talking about the teams gunning for the title and their form, current, and how the last days are likely to pan out. What about a team that have seemingly turned it around in the last few matches? And we're not talking much about them. At least you're not, but you should be paying attention to Legon Cities. They're almost there, or are they not? Their recent form would suggest that they've scaled the worst, they've settled, and now they're gaining momentum. Look at them there. Now they're visible. Once upon a time, Legon Cities were nowhere to be found in the top 10. They're visible, and even though there's a 5-point gap between them and Adriana Stars, with the matches remaining, they could still make progress up the GPL ladder.
Yeah, look, they just need 2 wins, and they'll be safe for the season, and they'll have a great season, Legon Cities. But what has propelled them to the 9th position is that form that they are in now, yeah. In the last 5 matches, yeah, they've won 4 and lost 1. In that game they lost against Wafa by a lone goal, they nearly won that game themselves. If they have converted the chances they created, probably they would, probably have brought 1 point to Accra or all the 3 points. But look, yeah, going to Ebusua draws to win. They're the only team that has beaten Ashanti Gold back-to-back in the Ghana Premier League. No team has done the double over Ashanti Gold. They whipped them 5-2 at the Accra Sports Stadium, and they've gone to the Obuasi Stadium to beat them by a long goal. And look at the performance. They believe in the performance. And you see the players playing about themselves. So if there's no Asamoah, there's no Hans Kofi, who was their top marksman, there is a certain Richmond entry. There is one player called Jonah Atukwe. And these players are playing about themselves. Yeah. Look, they had that belief. Look at that goal. From Anani with a strike, and bang, it was a goal. Isaka Mohammed. So you want to enjoy the free-flowing football, the belief and the confident Legon Cities are in now. And look, thumbs up to Bashir Hifodiao. You remember I spoke about him here, and I told you about the way he's treating the players. And he told me the last time, look, he told me, Jude, I listened to the lambasting you gave me the other time. I've raised my game. Now, management are bringing in enough motivation. And like I broke the news during our commentary in that game, I said, look, if they win that game, they were going to be giving 2,000 Ghana cedi each. And then there was another top-up from Asamoah.
Asamoah himself?
Yeah, he was there to give them moral support and to tell them, look, I am going to top it up for you if you beat Ashgold.
Yeah, Jan will be disappointed at not having a key role to play, but notwithstanding, he's been a good backroom motivator, training ground motivator, come coach sometimes, advising Bashir Hayford. Rumours of them falling out may be exaggerated. You know, players want to play, but he needs to work on his form to get back into shape. At least play 2 matches so the fans can appreciate him before the end of the season.
Well, that's not what Legon Cities are thinking about now, the form of Asamoah Gyan, but they are really thinking about the form of Legon Cities. Jan might now have played a lot of games for Legon City. He has not scored the entire season for Legon Cities. That's too bad because of his form. But what he is doing, that is working to perfection between him and Fatah Dauda, is making sure the young boys have the needed confidence and the belief to play above themselves in that game.
That's good leadership. And we saw Fatah's response when they scored, celebrating with the team. So we know the officials of Legon Cities are never short of motivating them. It's now the players' turn to reciprocate. The phone lines are now activated. You can join in the conversation with your views, your thoughts, and whatever else. Predictions ahead of the big match on Sunday. Other matches, as we've spoken about, Kotoko hosting Ashgold in Obuasi on Sunday as well. On Saturday, that's another game for us to look forward to, no doubt about that. Inter Allies versus Legon Cities. If you're a fan of Legon Cities, give us a call. And there are other games. Yes, the Western region, big derby, big game.
Midiama Karela. It must be a revenge time for Midiama. They must win. If they don't, they are out of the league race. So big games coming up.
Yep, big games coming up. Repeats, revenge or stalemate. We have a call from Newtown, I believe. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Adam. Hi.
Please, I'm yearning for Accra for folk to win the league.
Okay. It's been a while since they won.
Accra for folk will win the league, inshallah.
Inshallah, they'll win. Okay.
Yeah. May God bless you all.
All right, God bless you all. Heart of Oak fans are now more vociferous. Sunday, you heard the vibe at the stadium. We've not heard and seen that in a while. Their confidence is up.
Well, it started against Elmina Sharks when it was difficult for House of Folk to win, and the supporters were chanting. They were roaring for victory and goals.
And it's gone up in this game. So by the time they meet Olympics, it could be a crescendo.
And by the time they play Kumasi Santi Kodoko,
my goodness.
What a game we'll have in our
Yep,
hands.
we're looking forward to that. Yeah, you can join us now. The phone lines have been activated. Let's talk about... Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there are other derbies. I mean, there's Liberty Professionals and
right.
Wafa.
Yeah.
Sugakope Derby.
That's landlord versus tenant. Right.
So that's a big one as well. You would want to see Wafa are in fine form. Yeah, they are doing so well, and they believe.
We have Ishmael on the line. Bia West, please, where is that? Educate me. You know, I'm trying to calculate where you are. Where are you?
Bia West in the Western North
in the
region.
Right. You're welcome.
The House of Folk is winning this league. There's no two ways about it.
Hey, Hearts for a while, though. Why do you think Hearts are winning the league?
There's no two ways about it.
Why?
Yes, we are playing well. We have the best team currently, and I don't think there's any team that can beat us. I think we are unstoppable.
Right. Thank you very much. He's right on 2 scores. They're playing well. They're on top of the league. Unstoppable until the season ends.
I mean, they look unstoppable. Yeah. If you play 7 matches at the Accra Sports Stadium, you don't draw, you don't lose, you win all 7.
Let's talk about this quickly, Jude, before the next call up. Playing your away matches at the Accra, some away matches at the Accra Sports Stadium. For example, Legon Cities would play there. And in the first round, I think Inter Allies,
Olympics.
So how would that factor in for the Phobians going into the end? Obviously, they're done with Inter Allies already. It's left with Accra Great Olympics.
Don't forget they drew with Legon Cities at Accra Sports Stadium. It was an away game for Accra House of Folk. They lost to Olympics at the Accra Sports Stadium as well.
It was a home game for them.
Yes. So, I mean, it was an
home
away
game for Hearts.
An away game for House of Folk.
All right.
Yes. So.
No, home, because Olympics are now playing home.
Yeah, Olympics are playing home. So it was an away game for House of Folk.
It was a home game.
A home game for House of Folk, sorry. So yeah, the thing is that House of Folk have the tendency to lose, whether being away or home match at Accra Sports Stadium. But what has made them unstoppable is that they are grinding results irrespective of whether a team plays in Accra or at the Accra Sports Stadium or not. They are winning, back and forth.
So far, the polls are, comfortable lead for Hearts of Oak. Axim, another caller. Michael, good. Hello. Thanks for joining us. What do you have to tell us?
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Please, I would like to contribute. I want to know why Ghanaian teams, like the owners, get money to pay them winning bonuses. They pay such huge amount for them as winning bonuses, but they can't build their own stadium. Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, that's a very good question that Jude and I have been asking. Thank you very much. We'll try and answer that. We should get some of the owners in the studio and find out. That's a very good question.
Exactly.
And interrogate why, over the years, they're able to, pay lots of, transfer players out abroad, winning bonus, motivation, but not to build, a stadium of the class that's the likes of Enyimba.
Yeah, building stadiums, it's no joke.
Yeah, but it's been done elsewhere.
Yes, I know, but look,
by
like
single club owners.
Put up that edifice at the Dansuman, Karinov.
Which has not seen any massive upgrade since.
It's still the same. I mean, you go to Bichim, and Agama is doing so well.
Yeah, you have a chief in Doma also chipping in. No, it's little by little, but...
Yes, but you see, if we don't have the government helping hands here, it's going to be difficult. One man alone in Ghana here cannot build a stadium.
Okay, we move on. Danfa. Where's Danfa? Let's find out. Apparently, it's not too far.
Yeah, it's around.
Is that Michael on the line? Hello? Albert. Hello, Albert. Are you there, Albert? No, it looks like we've lost Albert. But Danfa apparently is around Oyarifa, so we should upgrade our,
But You remember last weekend, 11 Wonders beat King Faisal. It was a derby.
Yeah, and not much was said about that.
Yeah, but it is good for 11 Wonders if they really want to survive. Beating King Faisal means King Faisal, who were on top because they had won 2 matches in a row, they tried to make that 3 matches in a row.
Right.
And that would have been the first time King Faisal had done that in the season.
Wow. Let's see if Albert is back. Hi, Albert. Are you there?
This is Isaac.
Isaac, hi. Talk to us. We're listening.
So, sir, I'm so grateful for this program you're showing us.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of Accra House of Folk, and I'm so excited with the performance we're showing up this time. And I pray that we keep it up till we finish this Ghana Premier League. Thanks so much.
Okay, before you go, will you be at the stadium on Sunday to watch your team, Hearts?
Pardon, please?
Will you be at the stadium on Sunday to watch your team?
Did you say whether I'll be able to watch the match?
Yes, at the stadium.
Possible.
We wish it was possible. So all the callers are vouching for Hearts of Oak.
Where are the Kotoko fans?
Yeah, I mean, if in a position Kotoko are, maybe their fans are getting disheartened, but I wouldn't say that. Maybe they're just waiting for the team to perform.
Yeah, it's just 2 points between Kotoko and House of Folk. Look, anything can happen. Kotoko play Ashanti Gold. Kotoko must focus to win. I'm finding it difficult how they are going to have a solid backline without Abalora and, of course, Ganiu. But they still have enough arsenals to beat a struggling Ashanti Gold side.
If you want to win the Ghana Premier League, you must be able to shuffle when in crisis, to pick up when you've lost, to put things in place. Coaches have been sacked. Players have been injured. Look at Midiama losing, what's his name? The commentator's favorite player.
Blay.
He's injured. Anyway, before we go, that's what the situation is right now. Your pick for the weekend's fixtures,
well,
obviously.
Of course, House of Folk will play against Olympics, right? And I want Olympics to surprise House of Folk.
Okay.
And Kotoko win against Ash Gold.
11 Wonders be champ, Dreams, Elmina, Ibuswandorf, Sidriana. There is not a single match that is cheap in there. It's a GPL. And of course, thank you very much to Prof. Jude Acheampong. And thanks to you as well. We'll be back again throughout the week as we bring you the GPL headquarters. Stay safe. Bye for now.
Do you want to become a boss without any stress? Now the wait is over. Max Buy Ghana Limited is here to make you a boss. Yes, join the Max Buy franchise now to create wealth, no money, no hustle, no stress, but you become a boss. Contact Max